Hey, and we did it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, if this is the first time joining us or you've been with us for the last 19 days, give us some love in the comments. We did that thing. We got a deal. Lisa got a deal. Today we're going to talk all about it and super excited for her. We knocked it out in 18 days. And we got some love in the comments from Charlotte's Web. Guys, give us some love here. I'll give you a quick reshare, retweet. I'll give you all some love. We got Kevin's been on here every single day. Kevin, thank you for being with us on the journey, man. Every single day, Kevin's been here. We got Daniel LeBlanc also here every single day in the house. Who else is in the house while we get this thing fired up? We got a couple more of you. I see you in the comments. Give us your name. Give Lisa some celebration. Today is a good day. Today is the day where we win. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give it up to the one, the only, the one who did that thing. Miss Lisa Sierra, welcome to your show.
Thank you.
All right. Happy, what is today? Happy Friday.
Yep. No, Saturday? I think it's
Saturday. We did it. We did the thing.
Yep.
So
we
excited.
have a deal. We have it funded. We have it ready to close on September 9th.
Oh, man. I love it. Hey, what about all those naysayers saying it's not possible? What do you think of those people?
I think if you weren't willing to work for it, then it wouldn't be possible, but it is. And you just got to keep focused and know that any obstacle is just an opportunity to figure out a different way to do it.
Every obstacle is an opportunity. That's what she just said. Look at you. You sound like a mentor. That's so good.
I'm starting to sound
so
like
good.
you.
Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, come on. You know, I get things done. We get results.
Exactly.
You know, we only have 4 core values at Cashflow Tribe. Results. So if you don't want to get results, do not join my community. I love you, but please do not join my community. Transparency. Transparency is the reason why we get super focused and remove all distractions. And we just, listen, we had some bullshit, okay? We had some Wi-Fi issues. We had a dog who got sick. We had a husband who had to run around and make deposits and a whole bunch of other things. Yep. We had Lisa who was trying to navigate family and vacation and work and all this other stuff. Transparency, right? Your life isn't easy. Throwing real estate on top isn't going to make it easier.
Nope.
You know? Community, we've been doing this as a community for the last 18, 19 days now. Today's day 20, actually. And it's been cool to watch the community be a part of this journey with you. And today they're going to get the finale. We're going to be able to break down the deal. And, you know, we've got some other stuff we're working on. And impact. I hope that you personally, Lisa, you'll have to tell me, how are you impacted personally by this experience?
Oh, like my confidence has grown so much in this whole experience. And the other thing that I've realized is that even though I'm not good at every piece of this, I can find people that are and work with them and learn that piece that I need to. And that's going to make me move quicker. And I can elicit other members of Cashflow Tribe. I brought Daryl down from Edmonton.
Daryl, yo, Daryl is in the house.
And he's crunching numbers for me for our offer palooza today. And we're targeted to make our offers, and we're madly texting and figuring out ARVs, and but we've divided and conquered. I'm working on different pieces. I'm working on the money pieces, and how are we going to figure that out? And what are we going to do there? And who would be the best person to approach for that based on the spreadsheet, which I've updated and been updating. And so I'm just going to give you some quick numbers here.
Before you do, let me jump in real quick. Guys, if you're watching this, first of all, click the little share button and share out Lisa's success. Really cool to kind of share this with you guys. So do me a favor and click that little share button right now. And then who wants to be next? Like, who wants to do a deal? Give me a thumbs up. Tell me your name. You saw what Lisa had to do. She made 17 applications. Like, you were like 17 times she applied to like get into this competition here.
Yeah.
And she won by sheer tenacity, I believe. I mean, the team chose her.
Yeah, I applied once, but I kept sending them my application because I couldn't get my video to upload properly. So I posted my video on every platform I could think of that they might be connected to and tagged them all in it, and then emailed it to them and emailed it to every mentor in the group that I had an email address for, and tried different formats. And I think Kara was on at one point and said, I said, she was probably annoyed with me because she was getting so many emails and so many texts. And, but you know what? It worked. And I think that applies to this process too. Tenacity. You can't give up. Just because one deal doesn't work out doesn't mean there's not 5 more around the corner. And Ben's point about the numbers and having that funnel and having many options. At first I just thought, oh, it's a numbers. It's just about those numbers, but it's also about options, having many options for the way you look at a deal. And you broke it down a couple of days ago and said, well, if we pulled these pieces apart, how do we look at the options differently? And so that's been just looking at it in a different way has been empowering, because now when I look at these deals that we're working on today, I'm seeing all of the different opportunities that are there instead of these are obstacles that we have to translate. And last night I had 3 people who've been watching this whole journey reach out to me and say how excited they are, how it's been inspiring to them, how they now believe they can do it, that they're following along. And so, you know, that's energizing to me too, because it wasn't that I was skeptical I could do it. I just had to give myself over to a whole new way of approaching a problem. And it wasn't the very linear way. It's all these moving parts going at one time, and how do you keep those things moving? So the other thing I'm translating onto that spreadsheet that we talked about yesterday of my contact sheet is I have contacts now in Messenger. I have contacts in text. I have contacts in email, and 2 different emails. And so I'm trying to get those all consolidated. Got my virtual admin. She's taking care of that. So I will have everything updated. I've given her the basics, and she's going to comb through all those platforms and find all that information. But everyone I've talked to has been super generous. They've given me either a path to follow, some great advice, some things to think about and dig into, warm intros to other people who either might be future partners, might be future money partners, might be JV partners, might be work partners. And Colleen and I, who are doing this deal together in Huntington, in Calgary, we met, I think, officially just on a live call that you had. And we just connected, and I asked for your number, and we talked on the phone, saw that we had some aligned vision for some of the deals we wanted to do. And so when she came to Calgary on Wednesday, we talked about Huntington. I ran the numbers. I gave her our negotiation window. And then, we saw where our individual strengths were. And so she said, okay, I'm going to go in with your number. And we got I don't want to tell the seller is probably watching, but we came in under our number. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to get to the deal here in just a second, folks. If you've been following us along, thank you for the congratulations for Lisa. As she kind of crushed this deal. So happy for you. And, you know, I think you've done a really, really good job staying committed and staying focused in this journey. And, you know, I'll just say real briefly this one piece, which is there's a little bit of learning, and that learning is the gap between where you are and where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the fastest way to close the gap is to go to somebody who absolutely knows the answer, not friends and family and people that kind of think they know the answer. Because all that happens is when you go to people that don't actually know, you increase the size of the gap.
Yeah.
Because now you have new questions, new things, new fears, new doubts. So talking to people who don't have the answer just introduce more of a gap. Talking to people who have actually done it can close the gap. And even if I haven't done a deal in your specific city, then 300 deals in Canada.
Yep.
It's not that complicated, folks. But I learned the hard way so that Lisa doesn't have to. I had a massive gap. I did a lot of deals. I got help. I got mentorship. I closed my gap so that I can help other people close their gaps. If the person that you're talking to hasn't been able to close their own gap, they can't help you close your gap. That's all I'm saying to you. If the person you're talking to is financially not in a good spot, they can't possibly help you become financially independent. If a person you're talking to barely did one deal, they can't help you become real estate investors. You have to keep this in mind. Where are you getting your source of information, your source of clarity? Because there are some very specific things that I could do with Lisa to box the thinking in to very, very much effective think versus sporadic think, sporadic question, sporadic think, what have you. So let's jump into it. I want you to pull up the spreadsheet. Let's get into the deal itself. Let's give everybody the rundown. Again, if you're here for the first time or you've been joining us for the last 18 days, Lisa is getting her first deal. We finally got it locked up. We're closing on, is this September the 9th?
September 9th, yeah.
September 9th, the deal is closing. So we're going to go over the deal today, and we were able to do what we thought it would take us 30 days to do it in 18 days. So very, very, very cool. And then Lisa is not going to stop, by the way. There's a secret ingredient, which I'll get to. Lisa, let me turn it back over to you without further ado and walk us through your spreadsheet.
Yep.
Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. It is not pulling up for some reason. Let me see here. Okay, try to reshare that if you could, Lisa. I'm going to take it off the screen. Try to reshare it if you could here.
Okay, stop screen. Do you want to start with the deal or do you want to start with the stats first?
It's up to you. Just walk us through every detail so people know kind of the breakdown of what happened.
I'm going to start with the stats first. So one of the things I've been working on is getting all of the deals that we've analyzed in there. So I'm not a fast typer to get them in here, but I've got my admin working on that. So the total number of deals analyzed and is 32. Offers made is 7. And I moved to a new tab of finance contacts. I still have to add some. Offers under contract, there were 2. And completed is 1 deal with possession September 9th. There's 8 investor contacts. 5 are private, 3 are mortgage broker. Actually, 4 are private, 3 are mortgage brokers, and 1 is both. And so I'm going to actually stop sharing that, and I'm going to share the deal now. Share. And we're madly assessing additional deals today. So here's Huntington. Okay. So this is what we use to analyze them. And if the numbers aren't working in the first 10 minutes, we're just moving on to another one. So this one is possession change to the 9th. It's a 1,000 square foot bungalow, no garage. It's in the north, actually northwest. This is the wrong address, northwest of Calgary. And it's in a neighborhood where there's lots of kind of older homes, not high-end renovations. These are solid renovations where people are holding the home long-term or renting a home in there. So we put together a outside budget if it took us 3 months to renovate and 2 months to sell. We think that's probably a little long based on what's in the neighborhood and what's in that market on the street it is. We put together a renovation budget of $117,600. And the reason we did that was because we're adding a double detached garage onto the back of the property, and that increases the ARV. So the ARV for that area is $650 for this property. And we wanted a 10%, and that's a conservative. Some are going 680, 690. We wanted to be conservative just to make sure that our numbers worked before in making that offer. We said we wanted a 10% of ARV as projected profit, and we were able to get it for $10,000 down, assuming an interest rate of 15% with private funds and deal fees. This is where our costs came in, and this is an automatic spreadsheet. So it calculates the after the holding costs and the interest costs, what we maximum purchase price that we should come in at. So we could move the numbers around if we wanted to adjust our time to renovate and our time on the market. We could adjust things like our profit on it, and we could adjust our renovation budget. So if we think about what are those tools that we have in the project management triangle, it's budget, time, and scope of work. And so those are our three variables we can play with in this deal to make sure that we know what wiggle room we might have or what contingency. So if these were all ideal, and this includes a good, healthy contingency, then we said we should come in at a maximum purchase price of $417,000 and $6.85. And so when we ran the numbers, we also played with those numbers and said, okay, well, if we adjust those numbers slightly, we could come in as high as $425,000, and they were wanting $425,000. But what we did was Colleen, who's my partner on this, I ran these numbers, and then I phoned her and said, okay, I want you to come in at $415,000 and give them the close date that we want and see what they say. Our ideal price is $417,000 and $6, and we can go as high as $425,000 if we adjust these things. So she went in at $415,000, and this is where my strength is. So I just talked to her about holding firm on that, and then they came back at $417,000, and we made it like, oh, I guess, yeah, okay, we could do $417,000 September 9th. They also wanted September 1st. So we did the 9th and $417,000, and we got it for $417,000, and we could have gone to $425,000 and still made a healthy profit. So that all happened in one day. Got the documents like a few hours later, and Colleen had the reno budget already in place, and we had and because my funds were tied up in another deal, we made a deal where I borrowed my portion of the down payment from her at 10%, from her company at 10% interest until mine comes in, and then I can pay that out and 10% simple interest. So that's all put on paper. There's nothing that is just handshake deal on that. We are going to form a company for this deal and potential future deals. So this is the one to see. And then we met and just made a list of the things that are going to be in my wheelhouse and the things that are going to be in her wheelhouse. So we're clear that we're not overlapping each other on this deal and that we each have our own strengths, and we're going to accelerate the timeline by working on our own things and staying in our own lane and just really keep the communication tight. And she was going to try to come on. She's driving in her vehicle to another site because she bought 2 other properties this week.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's the breakdown. Very, very good. All right, so you're feeling pretty confident now at this point, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I see how I could do it again and again.
You got a process now. You've got confidence around the process. Yep. So what's the new goal for you? All right, now you've done this deal.
Yeah.
Getting this thing closed up. Now, do you have any new goals or ambitions you want to share with the crowd?
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of deals that I'm really interested in. We're just working on the numbers right now to see how we could get them done. There's some new partners that are money partners that are on the horizon. My next goal is to really unlock that funding that I have in my property on Vancouver Island so that I have that renovation budget available, because then it opens up for me so many other opportunities with these different private investors. And my ideal is to have multiple going at one time. So I'd like to start one and end one every month. And ideally, I'd like to have a contractor who is managing each of these on a day-to-day basis so that I can have those deals all going on, and maybe even take a leave of absence from my job to do it full time for a period of time and then exit out.
So good. So good. I like that we turned hope into faith. So hope is this desire that one day we could achieve something. Faith is an action. So faith is like we are moving towards the outcome that we've already hoped into existence. And now as we see, we've used accountability to turn hope into faith, accountability turn faith into reality. So your reality now is, I'm a person who did a deal in 18 days. I'm a person who encountered some difficult conversations and some different stinking thinking, and we've been able to overcome that stinking thinking. Now it's not gone forever. It's still going to come and appear and whatever, but we have some tools and resources that we can now use to kind of navigate the next level of stinking thinking. Because when you go do that next deal, somebody's saying, are you going to do a multifamily deal, a bigger deal? Maybe bigger, maybe more. The idea isn't about the deal. The idea is really about, what is the financial outcome, Lisa, that we need to drive to?
Yep.
So that we never need to worry about money ever again.
Yep.
So what do we need to do every single month? I think you had a number for you to get to the next level of financial freedom in your world. It was creating $8,000 a month. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to get to a point where Lisa's going to get to $8,000 a month here. She'll then have the financial stability to pull the trigger everybody wants to pull, to walk away from that 9 to 5. See, the beautiful thing about what Lisa's doing, guys, is number one, all of you can do it. Every single person can do it. What does she have that you don't have? Well, she's on this show. So she got direct mentorship from me, right? That's what she has. She also has the desire and willingness to make 17 applications to get on the show to begin with. That's got to tell you something about Lisa's tenacity. And I don't think she has a lot more resources than the rest of you folks here. Like, and you might say, well, she has more of this or more of that. More is never a word in my vocabulary. Like, more this, less of this. It's not about more. It's about, are you the kind of person that actually wants to win? And are you the kind of person willing to do what it's going to take to win? Or are you just going to live in perpetual fear all day? Like saying yesterday, I think a comment that resonated with people was, other people have spent more time worrying this month than you have actually spent doing this deal this month.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that doesn't rock you at your core, people that are watching, you got to rethink your priorities and what you're doing in life, because you're literally spending so much time worrying, and that doesn't pay you. That doesn't help you. Worrying just creates more worrying, which creates more fear, which creates more worrying. None of that benefits you long term. So, Lisa, you have now a formula.
Mm-hmm.
You have a formula that you can use and replicate the formula. And just to help people understand, like, this is the formula that takes you to financial freedom. And by the way, life gets incredibly amazing after financial freedom. See, up until then, you're not actually you. You're the stressed out version of you who spends more time thinking about the bills and runarounds and chores and busyness. You spend more time in that stuff than actually living your life.
Yep.
Because money enslaves people. The lack of money enslaves people's thinking.
Yeah.
It enslaves their actions. So every single person watching this, you owe it to yourself and your kids to become financially free. Mm-hmm. You have to, if you ever want to be you. You know, they say, like, you know, rich people, they're this and that, and wealthy people, they're this and that. You know what they are? Free to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad things, that's a different question. I don't know about that. But here's what I do know. When you have money and you have resources and you have your time back and you've reclaimed your identity, you get to live in who you want to be. That's it. So if you're struggling, like, you know, I'm struggling to find myself, go make some money. I'm serious. You know, this isn't a complicated equation for me any longer. It used to be. Mm-hmm. So, Lisa, as we kind of tell us what the next steps are for you as we kind of round out the rest of this call. Guys, this is the finale as far as I'm concerned, unless we've got the team who says, hey, we need more information, more details. Like, Lisa literally knocked this deal out. We're on day 20. But I want Lisa now to tell us what's next for her as she kind of wraps up this first deal.
So a couple of things that I noticed. One is I moved past my fear really quickly. Like, I had never really done a live until I came into Cashflow Tribe. And then I did like 3 and they were okay. But now I don't even think about it. I just jump on and go live, and I don't care what people think of me. I used to worry about that a lot more because I have a purpose and a clear vision of where I want to go. And so it doesn't really matter to me what they think. I mean, and then the second piece is that I have met more people in the last 17, 20 days, however many it is, than I have in years, all in some way doing things I want to do. And people have been so generous. And I used to be afraid to ask people for help or say, hey, you know, how would you approach this or whatever, because they're on video or on Facebook saying they're an expert in their field. Now I just reach out and people have been like, oh, and you got to meet this person and you got to talk to this person and I'll introduce you and here's their number. And people have been so generous with that. And I don't think it's just because I'm on this 30 days with you. It's because I am opening myself up to that. And I'm excited about what I'm doing, and people are attracted to that excitement about what you're doing. And some of them even said, what's 30 days? I didn't even know. And then so I assumed they were contacting me because of that, but they were actually contacting me because they heard I was working on a deal. And, you know, so I'm putting myself in that proximity of the people doing what I want to do or have a piece of what I want to do. Maybe they're a funder, maybe they're a flipper, maybe they're a JV partner. And somebody asked about multifamily deals. Yep, I'm working on one. I'm in contract with one, 29 unit mobile home park. And I am doing my due diligence on that. I'm running the numbers and getting my package together to talk to those potential JV partners. And, you know, I feel like that's absolutely doable. I'm not even, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, it's just a deal. I am putting the components and the options in place and moving forward through each challenge as it comes. and working on another deal. I had somebody reach out about doing a deal on the island for student rentals. I have a student rental, and they reached out last night and said, I want to know more about student rentals. I saw a comment you made about how great your student rental is going in on the island. And I want to find out more, and I'm interested in doing one. So, like, who knows? That could be a money partner now. And somebody who sees me as a expert in that. So it's really interesting. And, some of my Cash Flow Tribe folks from the accelerator program I flew out, brought my husband, we did a weekend there, and he saw the vision. And last night he came to me before he went to work. He was on night shift. And he said, I see how hard you're working. I'm really proud of you. I'm excited about what you're doing and where you're going. And I just want to help however I can. And he's been holding down the fort. We haven't had groceries in our house for 17 days or 20 days. He's been making me food, bringing me food, doing all the stuff. And that's how he can help right now. And so, and being a cheerleader and asking me good questions and running up to Edmonton to get money sorted out when I needed it. So, that it's just been an awesome experience. And it's also, I think, for him watching, it's given him confidence that I've got the right mentors and the right mentor in you. And I've shown him too how I can do it quickly. So it's great.
Well, all of us are proud of you. We're excited you're going to keep doing deals. You've got a multifamily under contract that you're working through right now. Yep. Give us the final numbers one time. How many leads did it take? Just want to be clear on this.
I had 32 leads.
32 leads. What that means is she had 32 opportunities that she found. Now, where did you find those 32 for the most part?
Some are off market, but primarily through MLS. I had a couple of realtors combing MLS and sending me stuff. I had people sending me through Facebook, through this program, a couple of options. I made 7 offers to be made today, 5 offers under contract. I got 2 under contract, plus my multifamily would be 3, and completed 1 deal to possession on September 9th. I have 8 investor contacts, 3 mortgage brokers, 5 private investors, and 1 of both.
So let me recap. Let's recap that. So 32 total leads. We made 7 offers against those leads.
Yep.
We got 3 of them accepted, and we got 1 deal done. So you are basically that's a way better conversion than even what we thought we would have to put in. So she ended up putting in less work than she thought she'd have to put in.
Yep.
Less work than she thought, and got a deal done. So that's so awesome. And again, you only talk to a few people, a dozen people or so, is what it's going to take for you guys to cover these gaps. But you got to have some clarity. You got to stay persistent. And we'll take a final comment here from Daniel. It says, very inspiring. Keep that attitude going. Keep the momentum going. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. So, folks, Lisa got it. That concludes our 30 days to a deal. We may or may not come back live. We may or may not put this competition out again. We may or may not just do this with a whole bunch of people. I don't know. I'm looking for ways to help you really crush it in this business. Here's what I do know. People who show up win. People who show up with a good attitude win. People who get a mentor win. People who join Cash Flow Tribe and stay consistent win. People who join the mastermind win. I'm just giving you the evidence. Winning is winning. It's the same formula over and over and over again. And now you've seen Lisa do it. So, guys, have an amazing day. Lisa, congratulations again. I'm sure you're going to post when you're all closed up the keys and pictures and all that thing. And we're going to have that, cool for you guys. If you've missed any of this series, you can go back on our Cash Flow Tribe YouTube page, and you guys can check it out there, or feel free to share it with a friend who may be skeptical about your journey in real estate investing. So Lisa, I'm going to let you sign us off with the last piece of advice for everybody. And that's how we're going to close it.
If you want to see the results of Offerpalooza tomorrow, then I'm happy to jump on and tell you all about that. And I would say keep being tenacious. Don't over question the process. They've got it down. They know what they're doing. Just follow the mentors. They've learned a lot of this stuff the hard way. So when you start throwing up all the obstacles, you're just creating an obstacle for yourself and you're living in fear. So step out of that and trust that they have a formula and a way that it can be done. And it's all about those options. So keep going, keep pushing, and do the homework. Go back to day one and do the homework. And it may take you a little more than 17 days or 18 days, but it doesn't matter. Try to do it in 30 and give yourself that time. Lock out all those distractions and say, for 30 days, I'm going to focus on this. And my goal is to get a deal by the end of 30 days. And do it.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I love it. Now we're going to teach it to the next generation of investors ready to learn. So Lisa, congratulations. This concludes 30 days to a deal. Knocked it out in 18 days. And we are going to come back at you. Get plugged in, get connected, stay faithful. God bless everybody watches the show. Lisa, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.